When you are comparing the TransPennine Express and LNER, what should you use as your criteria? And I think we all know what it is: the quality of the sausage rolls. Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Whingy Old Git. Welcome to the new subscribers. I put a video out about the GHIC card and seem to have got a lot of subscribers off the back of that. One person accused me of, promo SM. I don't really know what that means. I looked it up. I think it means that I've bought subscribers. So if I was going to purchase subscribers, I'd purchase way more than this. But anyway, thank you if you've genuinely subscribed. I do appreciate your support. We went on our trip to York. Talked about it in my last video. The idea was we were going to go down with TransPennine Express and then come back with LNER, and I was going to compare the two services. But there was a bit of a problem. We were supposed to go into the first class lounge in York Station, which is for LNER customers, and do a little bit of video in there, and then get on the train and then compare the two journeys. And that was it. But what happened was we raced to the station, found our train was cancelled, but there was one leaving an hour earlier. So we leapt on that train and managed to get back up to Morpeth. So it didn't quite go according to plan. When you're travelling first class, you expect to get a slightly bigger seat, a little bit more legroom, a little bit more comfort. TransPennine Express was actually better than I thought. But one of the things that I wasn't expecting was to get food and drink. A lot of reviews that I'd read said there was no food service, which was fine. It was a really cheap ticket, so I wasn't expecting it. So the Present Mrs Camsell does not eat gluten, but she asked if there was a gluten-free option for the food, and she was offered a vegetarian samosa, which is definitely vegetarian, but it's not gluten-free, that's for sure. So she didn't get any food. We did get a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, and I had a sausage roll as well. This is what the sausage roll looked like. It had been heated up in a microwave, and I didn't get food poisoning from it. And that's about all I can say about it. It really was incredibly average, as you would expect. The carriage itself was actually really quite pleasant. We had reserved seats. We got a table seat. The seats are actually very comfortable on TransPennine Express. They're cloth. They recline in the same way that they do on other services. But yeah, it was generally a very comfy way to travel. I don't do loo reviews. A lot of people do. I think that's weird. Just like going into the toilet with a camera. How is that not weird? All of our services ran on time. We got TransPennine Express from Morpeth down to Newcastle, and then Newcastle down to York, and everything was fine. So not a particular problem. I appreciate that a lot of other people do have problems. I'm not trying to belittle that at all. Just this service ran really smoothly and was very pleasant. So to the journey back. LNER is typically a little bit more expensive than the TransPennine Express, but when you're in first class, you do get a food service. They split it into three categories. You either get deli, dish, or dine. All of the options do include the LNER sausage roll. I think they call it the hog roast sausage roll. And it is a bit different from the offering on the TransPennine Express. Firstly, it comes on a plate. That's always a bonus. You also get a choice of tomato sauce, brown sauce, or they do this kind of like mango ketchup stuff, which is really, really nice that you get with it. And you can see the difference between the two. It is much nicer. Something else which didn't seem to be available on the TransPennine Express, but is available on LNER, is a bar service, so you can get a beer or a glass of wine on your journey. One complaint I do have about LNER, and I have complained to them about this, is that during January they did dry January, so they had alcohol-free beer, but at any other time they don't, so you're stuck with the usual soft drinks. Firstly, I think this is irresponsible. If you have driven to the station, alcohol-free beer is going to be a better option than drinking alcohol and risking driving. But secondly, if you're like me and you don't drink at all, then you are a bit limited. You know, most drinks are caffeinated. I know I've been on 3-hour journeys before, arriving back in Morpeth at 11 o'clock at night, absolutely jacked up on caffeine. So I really wish LNER would address this, because I can't just restrict my travel to January. Now, the other thing that LNER offer is dessert as well. So even if you have the deli, they will do little pre-packaged desserts. They used to do a lemon posset, and then they had a salted caramel chocolate pot. They've currently got an apple tart. All of them are awesome. We use our 2 Together rail card, and that will allow you to have a third off of all off-peak travel, including first class. So for tickets from Morpeth to York on the TransPennine Express, changing at Newcastle, we paid a total of £28.30 for 2 first class tickets, which is pretty good value for money. Honestly, worth it just for the bigger seats. Wasn't expecting the grubby sausage roll. Coming back, the tickets were a little bit more expensive, but not massively so. The tickets coming back with LNER were £37.60, using the same discount structure, but buying first class tickets. So we didn't buy standard and then upgrade, we just bought the tickets outright. Now, for the extra £9 for 2 people, I think it's a little bit of a better service. You're certainly having that bar service. Once you've had a couple of drinks and a fancy sausage roll, I think it makes up for the extra cost. For us, there was obviously the additional benefit of the TransPennine Express we needed to change, whereas the LNER service just goes directly from York up to Morpeth. I love travelling by train. I particularly like travelling first class as a train because I'm a Ponzi git at heart. LNER is one of my favourite services. I've travelled with Avanti West Coast. Their service offering is great, but it's really pricey. Anything that you're doing south of London, you know, going down on southeast trains or southern trains, is just rubbish. I mean, you have to pay the premium just to get a seat because they're all commuter trains. It truly is an awful service, massively overpriced. So Whingy Old Git's preference, if you are getting a train and you're splashing out for first class or you're upgrading using Seatfrog, then I would totally recommend going for either LNER or TransPennine Express. TransPennine Express still having trouble with their timetables, but assuming that they get that sorted, it's a perfectly adequate service and it really is good value for money. LNER though, still one of my favourites. Really excellent service, really nice trains, really comfortable, and like I say, for if you buy the tickets in advance for a few extra quid, then having that extra bar service and having the nicer food really does make a difference, and it makes the journey go a little bit quicker. So once again, big thumbs up from me for LNER, but you do need to sort out the alcohol-free beer. If you are a new subscriber, thank you very much for your support of this channel. Every little bit helps. I have 37 quid sitting parked with Google. Once I get to the 1,000 subscribers, then I can start clawing that money back. Oh, the little wins. I have got another video coming up at the end of July with the Present Mrs Camsell. We've got a short break which is planned, which is a little bit of a special rail trip. I've got a ton of other footage which I need to sort out, going right back to February 2022, I think, when I went to Stockholm. So I'll try and get those out as well. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support of the channel. And if anyone knows what Pro SM means, then do let me know. Catch you later. Bye for now.